Question: would you spend $360,000 on a gaming console? One console did sell for this much, and well, like always, let's talk about it. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Nerd News. I am your nerdtastic host, Chris Chevis. Welcome to my show that is created for nerds by a nerd. And today we're going to talk about a record-breaking sale for a console that is very, very rare. Like Heart of the Diamond rare. Heart of the Diamond. You know, the one that they drop at Titanic. It's a Heart of the Diamond, right? But before we get into that, if this is your first time here, guys, please hit the like, the subscribe, the notification bell, so that you can be notified of all these videos as I create them in my little brain. Now, I remember the first console that I ever bought with my own money, my own earned sweat and tears money. And that console was the Nintendo 64. Such a great console. I still love it to this day. And I believe at the time it was like $200, I want to say. I could be wrong, but it wasn't that expensive. It was 200 bucks around there. I mean, that console was great. I stayed up all night playing Mario 64, Killer Instinct Gold. I mean, all these games I grew up playing. These systems and these games leave these great impressions in our memory like food does and set does. It's just this thing that brings us back to the good old days, man. You know, depending on whatever system it was, PlayStation, Sega, Super Nintendo, you know, they all had their own place in history. But what if I told you that PlayStation and Nintendo at one point in time merged into one? Play-tendo. Nin-play. That's stupid. Well, one system did exist, and it was a very rare prototype that, frankly, it didn't look as, you know, sharp and clean as the consoles do nowadays. This is what it looked like. It just looked like an old textbook. Well, as of recent, this system was sold at a auction. Now, I wouldn't have any money to be at the specific auction. I probably would be there just to take photos of these things because that's as close as I could get to them. And this amazing console did sell for $360,000. That is a record for a gaming console. I mean, come on. What did I say? I spent like 200 bucks on the 64? And that price tag did make it the most expensive gaming console in an auction to date. I mean, nothing else will come close to that unless there's something that we don't know about. Now, this prototype was developed as a potential partnership between Sony and Nintendo. Now, this system would play both SNES cartridges and the CDs at the time. So at that moment in time when this was being created, that was unheard of. We didn't have something that had a combo kind of feature like this system did. But sadly enough, this system never really made it to mass production. It just sat there as a prototype. So it was very rare, kind of like finding a rare G.I. Joe or a Thundercat or, yeah, that's right, I'm dating myself now. I mean, this whole thing was like a sad breakup. Sony took Nintendo's clothes and threw it off the balcony and said, "Get out of here, I don't need you." But before this system went to the actual auction, a man with a very deep pocket by the name of Terry D. Boyd purchased this system in 2009. So Terry purchased this system at a bankruptcy auction. And for years, he was showcasing it across the world. People that, you know, do you like video games? Well, I got something to show you. But in February of 2020, he did put it up for auction to pretty much be like, all right, I've had fun with this. Now I need to make some money off of it. So the word spread that this system was indeed in the auction. So you can guess that all the gamers, young and old, were drooling over this. And I mean, if you had the money, and if you're a serious collector, this is something that you would need in your collection. When I was doing research for this, it didn't say who purchased the system at that auction, but you know, if you're out there, if you're watching this video, what do you do for a living and are you hiring? Also at this auction, they sold a very rare prototype Mario game that sold for $100,000. I want to see that game. Like how prototype is it? Is it like Mario wasn't a plumber? He was actually a librarian. Man, I find it hard to pay for a $60 game, let alone $100,000. I would never open. I would leave that shrink wrapped. I would put it in a Ziploc bag and then put it in a case, put it in a suitcase after that, and then put it in one of those big fail safes, the burn-proof ones, and then never tell anyone because it's rare. But when it comes to collectibles and rare items from the past and nostalgic items, money isn't something that necessarily is a thing that you have to worry about. There has been comic books and toys from the past that people have shelled out a lot of money to collect because these things are worth something down the line. Or you just want to hold on to the past, and this is one way to do it. The actual body of the system itself does look like a Super Nintendo. It just has the Sony printing just right on top of it. So pretty much it'll look all like Nintendo, and Sony just put their stamp on it. Yeah, sounds about right, Sony. But this system is something that would be very, very interesting to get my hands on, to actually play, to see what the graphics were like back then in '91 for this system at least. But this system is something that's truly amazing, since it's very, very rare. And right now it's sitting on someone's shelf, just hopefully not collecting dust. Hopefully they're staying up late at night, eating pizza, playing, I don't know what games might have been on there, Super Mario, Tetris. But guys, what did you think of this rare system? What was your favorite system that you had in the past, and or one that just kind of gives you that nostalgic hook? Let me know in the comments below. I want to know what you think. And guys, if you like this show, then check out my social media accounts on Twitter and Instagram. I update those daily so you know what's going on in entertainment news, video games, movies, comic books, you name it, everything but knitting. And until next time, guys, remember, even the Virtual Boy had a spike in popularity. And if you don't remember what Virtual Boy was, it was really an interesting system. It gave me tons of migraines.